We don't hate quick fix. At this time, this is the balance we're going for. We are seeing feedback. If there's no strong, horrible negatives to it, there's no reason to not do it.
The more interesting point than quick fix is that they do plan on adding gear and boots in coming seasons. We will be getting more perks basically added to multiplayer post-launch. Activision devs do not play their own game.
3,000 devs can't figure out how to add a reconnect feature to a AAA title, I guess. I don't know.
Because Infinity Ward doesn't tell their consumers anything.
Maybe that'll take some of the sweats away from Shoot House.
You can cope about that for sure.
Thanks for tweeting, at least. Thanks for doing more than Infinity Ward has done. They just keep tweeting about the soccer bundles in the store.
Things that are bad. We've got a couple words. Why don't you kick it off, Tanner?
This is going to be a longer section than the first part you guys heard.
Change it, obviously, of course. We are live, boys and girls. Welcome to the Dropshot episode, Call of Duty Podcast, episode number 378. My name is Casey, also known as Razinon. Today, I am joined by young Tanner, and we have quite a bit of juicy info to get into this afternoon, this glorious afternoon. Today is Wednesday, the 22nd. We are not doing an episode on Thanksgiving. So instead we're doing it today. And you guys get to, you guys can all listen to it Thanksgiving morning when you're...
Yeah, listen to it at the table.
While you're dreading your in-laws arriving at your home. You'll
play it for your family.
Have something to listen to. Yeah. So anyway, welcome to the show. Yeah, a good amount to get into it today, and a lot of interesting stuff actually to talk about. We have a couple patches, a little season 1 Intel blog post drop thing, which is going to tie into the Warzone integration, of course. That's coming quite soon, in fact. And then we also have a lot of info from the devs, because in the past week, they did a Reddit AMA, which stands for Ask Me Anything, for those of you who are old listening. So we just got, the community asked them questions, they answered them. And then also, they appeared on another podcast that we will not name. I'm just kidding. It was called Pulse Check, another Call of Duty podcast.
Yeah, they went live with Repulse.
Right. Yeah. Their focus is different than ours. We'll talk more about it when we get there. But some of the interesting, kind of things that came out of that podcast we're going to discuss as well. So a lot to get into today. Before we do, a couple of announcements. First and foremost, welcome to our new gold patrons. Quite a few of you smart people. G1905, change it. Callum D, Mr. Butts, keep it. Roadkill, change it. Damian D, Craig D, fake last name. Jake T, Dynabetic, change it. The Drunk Goose, and Ox, welcome. Boys, much appreciated. Our new gold patrons, patreon.com/thedropshot. A lot of signups this week, and it makes sense to have done that, which we'll get into in a moment. But thank you, boys, very much. Also, a better person than all of you, Austin A, joined it gold this week. And then immediately was like, nah, I'm going annual platinum. So, okay. Our new annual platinum patron, Austin A, a Chad saving himself an amount of money by going annual and doing it at platinum, getting in on those juicy Q&A Patreon episodes. Thank you, AA Battery. And speaking of the Patreon and platinum patrons, we just did our patron platinum and up Q&A ep that went live, I believe, yesterday, in which Tanner and I answered patrons' questions. And it was solid. Did like about hour 45 minutes or so. Answered some questions. I think we talked a little bit about COD and a little bit about not COD. And it was very solid. So if you're a Platinum or Damascus or Obsidian, of course, patron, that is now available. You can go listen to that. One of the things we said, by the way, in that episode was that we were going to have released this morning, the 22nd, another gold patron bonus episode on the topic of camo grind, the camo grind, with some early camo grind tips. We have rethought this, and here's the plan now. Instead of that, what we're going to do this Saturday for the public episode is do a preliminary early camo grind tips ep. I am, according to this spreadsheet, which was made by Jakin, which is rife with errors.
No, yeah, we need to stop giving him credit.
misspellings.
He didn't actually make it. Well, he did the misspellings. You're correct there. He didn't make
He
this.
made
He stole
all
it
of the
from last
mistakes
year.
on it, but everything
He didn't
correct
make it.
someone
Don't
else
give him
made.
credit. Yeah.
That's a great
Correct.
point. Yes.
Yeah.
He botched a perfect template that was created last year by not him. And according to that, and again, riddled with errors, poorly constructed, shell of its original document, I am 33% done with the camo grind. I've done a lot of it, and Tanner has done, I think, less than that because he was out of town, but he's done a lot of the camos I haven't done yet.
26. Yeah.
Yeah. So between Tanner and I, we've done almost all of the camo challenges, and the ones we haven't done, we've seen, details on. So basically what our plan is on Saturday, we're going to do an early camo grind tips and tricks. Did I say that right? Tips and tricks episode for everyone. And it's going to have a lot of tips in there that you have not heard anywhere else. And I know this because I've been watching other camo grind tips, YouTube videos or whatever. There are quite a few other little things that we've learned by doing all this stuff. And if you're doing the camo grind, it's going to be very useful for you. And I know that many of you are, in fact, doing the camo grind. So that is going to be going on Saturday. And in lieu of that bonus episode, we're not really sure what we're going to do for the rest of the Patreon bonus episodes this month. I think we're going to do another like a second impressions kind of deal. Talk more about what weapons are good. Maybe like a brainstorm part 2 for multiplayer. And my opinions on this game and the things I've learned, discovered, and other like random tips and stuff have evolved tremendously from our first impressions episode. I have a lot more to say. I've learned a lot more. I have a lot more tips. I'm sure Tanner does as well. So we're probably going to do one of those on Patreon and then something else. And then later on down the road, sometime next month, once we finish the camo grind, we'll do another camo grind episode. For those of you who are still working on it by that time, with anything we may have missed once we do it on Saturday. So that is the plan. And if you're a patron and you're confused that there was no episode today, that's why. We're going to be recording a bonus episode on Thanksgiving morning, in fact. The whole schedule, it's boring. I won't explain it, but that's what we're going to do. So that'll go live on Friday morning. And then on Friday as well, if you're a Damascus patron, we're doing our hangout at 6 p.m. Pacific time on Friday. We're going to play some custom games. That's going to be very fun. So if you're a Damascus patron, link your Patreon account in Discord. That's where the hangouts happen. We're doing it this Friday night, 6 p.m. Pacific time, and we'll play some custom games. And like I had said in our Q&A episode, customs is really cool early on because you have every weapon and all attachments. So even if you haven't unlocked a gun, you can use it in custom games with all of the attachments to see how it is. So if you're like not doing the camo grind, for example, and you're trying to just level stuff for Warzone, you can mess around with all the guns to determine which armory unlock you want to do next or what thing you want to level next. So that'll be juicy, fun, and exciting for everyone.
It'll
I
be
think.
interesting to try actually some of like the conversion kits maybe in customs. Mess around with some things like that
true.
that I wouldn't otherwise even usually
Good
use in
point.
multiplayer because you can't even equip them till the gun is max level, right? So it's like by that
Correct.
point, I'm just focusing on doing the challenges, not even thinking about it. So there may be something really good out there that I haven't even thought about trying because I don't want to.
That is true. That is another good point. That's a really good point, actually. Yeah, because I haven't used any conversion kits yet because, like you said, I'm just getting my guns max level, doing camos that I can while I do it. And then as soon as it's max level, I jump off of it. So like I've done most guns, 3 base camos, since you can't do the 4th one until it's max level. But on some of them, I haven't even done the first 3. Like I'm missing some headshots on most of the marksman rifles. Because once it got max level, if I hadn't gotten it done, I'm gone. So I haven't tried any conversion kits. That's a good idea. I would like to try that. And there's some interesting ones. So anyway, yeah, if you're a Damascus patron, that's happening Friday night. Little palate cleanser from your Thanksgiving in-laws visit. Yeah, that's that. So that's what's on the agenda this week. And just want to clear that up for you patrons. So Anyway, any other announcements here, Tanner?
No, yeah, just know that we are recording Thanksgiving morning. So, I mean, it's kind of cringe. No one has sent us, like, donated to us in a week or two. It's Thanksgiving. You should be thankful for us. We don't need to be thankful for you. You guys should be thankful us. So, yeah, why don't you give us money? You know, we're working overtime, double time, all of it. And you guys aren't doing anything for it. So, yeah, it's kind of cringe. I guess you guys just suck. I don't know, man.
Dropshot.com, press donate.
Walt, thank you for the 13 months. Friend of the pod. Sledgehammer Games. Yeah, the Sledgehammer is better than IDub, I would say, yeah. They are greater than IDub. Thanks for the 13, Walt. Appreciate it.
I'm a better game dev than IDub, the entire studio. Yeah.
You think?
I'm positive.
Yeah.
All right, welcome to the show. Today, we have an episode. First, patch notes change already in effect. Quick little PSA for you guys in case you weren't aware. There is double XP, double weapon XP, and double battle pass XP now live right now in MWIII until the 27th at 10 a.m. Pacific time. That's a long time. So if you have been out of tokens, go level your guns. Or if you want to finish up the battle pass, go play. Until, geez, the 27th. That's a long time. That's 5 days.
Till Monday, yeah.
Monday morning, 10 a.m. Pacific time.
But it's like, yeah, it kind of sucks though too, because it's like around a holiday. A lot of people will be out of town. I wish they did it like last weekend or something. I mean, it's nice to have, but it's like I'm not even going to get as much play time in as I would have liked.
Yeah.
People have lives. They don't.
People do be having lives. That's probably why they did it for so long, though. But anyway, yeah, just so you guys know.
Cool. Level those guns. Wonder if you can get quadruple XP. I never remember, because some games it kind of works and other games it doesn't. Like, I think Modern Warfare 2, it would be like, if you would pop a double XP, a double XP weekend was active, you'd get like, what, 3 times XP or 2.5? It's more, but it's not worth it, right?
And it sometimes wouldn't. And where I'm at is just settle down. Regular double XP is enough. You don't need quadruple XP.
I mean, if it's like a pistol and you can get quadruple XP and you get 1 kill in multiplayer and it levels up, that's kind of worth it, I would say. I mean, you're flying at that
but
rate.
I never know if it's working. I don't trust it.
That's what I'm saying. Usually Ace tests it like right away, so I'm hoping he says something today or tomorrow about it.
I wouldn't waste your tokens unless...
Oh, I don't think they let you pop them now during an event. That may be true. I haven't logged on today since it went live. That may be true, actually, now.
I didn't even try to, so I don't know. But, yeah.
Yeah, that's smart. So that's probably something they finally did after 3 years.
Yeah. Either way, whatever. Let's get into these patch notes. We've had 2 patches this week. The first was on the 17th, Friday. And as we've been saying, if there are any weapon balancing in either of these, we're not really going to go over it because the game's still too new to be talking about weapon balance. They're going to be changing a ton of things. But anyway. Let's see here. Kind of skimming. Players will no longer be stuck in an activating token state after consuming an XP token. This was a problem. It is no longer a problem. Yeah. This doesn't really matter anymore until the 27th anyway, but you don't have to work. You don't have to like restart your game to pop XP tokens. That was annoying. They fixed it. Let's see. And then the movement thing. I feel like we talked about this already, didn't we?
We did not, no. Because this came out Friday.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah, we did
That's
not
weird.
talk about it. It's just because we didn't do Saturday pod, so it feels like it's been a long time, because it has been.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, here we go. All right. So this is the interesting thing that was all over Twitter. Yeah, I think we talked about they were going to do it. So movement. Decreased tack sprint refresh delay after sliding by 75%. Okay. Decreased tack sprint refresh time to match the infantry vest / running sneakers. So now everyone has the benefit, basically, in terms of refresh time, as if you had been running infantry vest in like beta or something. So I wonder how the infantry vest's refresh time works now.
Yeah, it must be faster. That would be, I don't know.
I mean, you would hope so. Otherwise, that perk is just like so much
I didn't
worse.
notice this part.
Yeah. And then next line, decrease sprint delay after sliding by 53%. So here's what they say in a little blurb explaining this. At launch, we introduced a delay after sliding to the tack sprint refresh time. A review prompted by player feedback determined that the previous delay was too aggressive. Today's updates aim to improve movement fluidity without making slide and tack sprint repetition the only viable choice for players. Okay, so I read this on Friday, and I made a tweet about it. And I'm actually going to pull that up because I want to repeat what I had said.
Pull up the tweet.
But what I will say is, after this change, movement to me feels great. It feels solid, and I don't really have any complaints. However, I do not understand at all how the tack sprint and its refreshing and its duration works one bit. I don't get it. And let me read this tweet. This is what I said. Seems like tack sprint should refresh at a fixed rate regardless of whether or not you're sliding while it's recharging. I don't understand how this works and would love an explanation. And that's exactly what I would like to reiterate. I don't understand how the tack sprint system works. And why can't it just be, I tack sprint, it runs out, and it takes 10, well, I'll say 10 seconds just for the sake of this example. I can tack sprint for 5 seconds, and then it takes 10 seconds before I can tack sprint again. And no matter what, no matter how many times I slide or dive or jump or put my thumb in my ass, it should take 10 seconds to refresh, and then I should be able to tack sprint for 5 more seconds after that. Why does me sliding have any impact on how long it is until I can tack sprint again? I don't understand it. And now I don't understand how the system works at all. So does sliding now make it so I can't tack sprint as soon as if I hadn't slid? I don't get it. Do you understand
it's
how
faster than it was before. So now it's like, when you slide, you start tack sprinting again, and then you could do a few slides now, whereas before you like couldn't. You would basically do a slide or two, and then you'd be at a tack sprint for a while. But now it's like you can essentially do more slides, and you can begin the slide faster, and you can tack sprint faster, I think is what it is. I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain. You're confusing me more by talking about it like this. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it feels better. That's all I'll say. It feels better than what it was for sure. But it's still not fluid like Modern Warfare 19. And obviously it never will be because they don't want that again. Because like they said here, without making slide and tack sprint repetition the only viable choice for players. And that was the only viable choice to move across the map quickly, was constantly sliding, slide canceling. That's what you do. So that's why they have like the timer on there, because I guess if sliding did recharge the tack sprint, then I think it would go back to that system essentially, where everyone's constantly sliding around, right?
But yes, but that was the problem in MW19, is that sliding refreshed your tack sprint. Why can't the refresh on tack sprint just be a fixed amount of time? So then I can slide or not, and it doesn't matter. Like, again, if I'm tack sprinting and then I'm regular sprinting and it takes 10 seconds for the tack sprint to be available again, why can't it just always take 10 seconds, whether I slide or not? That's what I don't understand. The problem with MW19 is if I did a slide cancel, it would cut the time. It would take less than 10 seconds. That was the problem. But why can't a slide neither make the refresh timer longer or shorter? Why can't it have nothing to do with when I can tack sprint again? It doesn't make sense to me. I don't understand how the system works. All I know, like you said, is that it feels good now. Like, I like how the game feels. And I bet you like some part of my brain knows how it works. Because I always know when I'm able to tack sprint and when I'm not able to tack sprint. I just can't explain it to you. But when I play the game, when I expect to tack sprint, I do. And when I know I can't, I'm not able to. So some part of me knows how the system works. I just can't articulate it, I guess. But I just wish, again, this was more clear and that sliding had nothing to do with the refresh timer of tack sprint. I don't understand it. But I don't know if anyone does. It's just very weird to me. But the main thing, I guess, I would like clarity on this, and I think they are going to do more to either explain it or something. But in the meantime, I mean, it feels good, which I guess.
I don't think they're going to explain it more, but they're adding that stamina bar in, so you're going to be able to see when it stops refreshing and when it starts refreshing and what changes the refresh rate. Yeah. That's what I guess they're not going to explain it more, but yeah, if I can see the bar, then that'll be fine too, because then I can like look and see what's happening. Like what's going on there. So I guess we'll understand once the bar comes in, and I think we'll get into that, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. So let's move on from this. Anyway, point is the game feels good. The movement feels good in my opinion. So moving on, progression. Let's see. Wins will now progress armory unlocks without first completing daily challenges. So yeah, this was a big complaint Tanner and I had about the armory unlock system, was if you wanted to unlock the Sidewinder, for example, don't unlock it, first of all. But if you did, you need 8 unlock tokens or whatever. And to do that, you could, if you like only played multiplayer, for example, you would have 3 daily challenges. And then each completion of those daily challenges would get you 1 token out of 8 toward that unlock. And then if you did all 3, after that, every time you win a game, you get an extra token. That's how it worked. Tanner and I were like, well, what if one of your dailies is to like use flash grenades and you're a casual who never uses flash grenades, you don't like them, and therefore, you just are actually never unlocking things in the armory, even if you're winning, because the wins didn't count toward unlocks before. Now they do. So this is a very good, big change. And you can also just not do dailies if you don't want now as well.
Yeah.
I recommend you do them because they're easy if you have things to unlock, but this is a solid little change.
Yeah.
So that's good. And then let's see. Other than that, a couple little zombies things. They did nerf the they nerfed the extract strat in zombies. So I don't know exactly what they did because I never participated in that myself. Do you know how they nerfed
increased the cooldown timer, which it says right here. The cooldown for exfil activation has been increased to 2 minutes. It was 30 seconds, I believe.
Okay.
After a chopper left, it would refresh in 30 seconds. And then also, they've lowered the amount of zombies that spawn. So I've heard a lot of negative things about this change because a lot of people were saying, you know, you'd play the whole zombies match, and when you get towards the end of the match, there are more zombies. So when you exfil, it was like a risk, because you would be exfilling, you'd have a bunch of good gear on you, and then you'd actually have to fight the zombies, and it'd be like, oh, this is kind of sketchy. There's only a couple minutes left. I got to kill them all. Got to get on the chopper, and now it spawns like 10 zombies or something.
I see. Yeah.
So. Cool.
So yeah, that XP grind strat is now dead.
Yeah, and then they fixed the bug where people were duplicating like turrets, that's what was crashing the server every single time. People would dupe a bunch of the turrets because that would give you weapon XP for whatever gun you had out. So they would do the exfil strat and they'd set up like 20 or 30 turrets in a circle to just farm the zombies where they basically did nothing.
Like a screenshot.
That's what was crashing the server. It has nothing to do with the amount of zombies at exfil. They nerfed that because that was a very fast way to level up your guns. So that's why they nerfed that.
Yeah. So, yeah, F's in the chat for that. It's probably still. I think people have been saying after this nerf though that leveling weapons and zombies is still very much viable. If you just kind of
there are like contracts. There's like the Outlast contract you could do. There are other ways to do it. Yeah, but
yeah.
I don't know.
I think on your goals.
We were talking about that in Discord. I think the leveling weapons and zombies is actually kind of a bait, unless it's a really, really bad gun that you don't want to use without attachments and you want to use it for the least amount of time. Like the Riveter shotgun, I keep hearing is awful. Mine's already level 8 just from passively doing it in zombies as a secondary. And I heard that's one of the worst guns in the game. So for things like that, it still makes sense. But like, I think people that spent all their time leveling, then just to go to multiplayer and have not a single base challenge done, I don't think that really saved you any time, honestly. I don't know.
I agree with you.
So yeah. I think that strat was kind of a bait.
It depends on if you're going for the multiplayer camo or not. If you're not going for the multiplayer camo, it was very smart.
Yeah.
To level in zombies, because it was like, I guess,
or if you just planned to go for both, so you leveled, you're doing Borealis passively, and then you'll just go to multiplayer and you'll have to do everything. But that's faster probably if you plan on doing both of them, then yeah.
Yeah, but I agree with you. If you're only trying to get the multiplayer Interstellar, I don't know why people were doing this either. Because yeah, you'd get it max level really fast, and then it's like, okay, well, it took me longer to get my whatever MCW max level, but I've also done 3 of the 4 base camo challenges by the time it's max level. You've done none.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, all that time you saved, I don't know, doesn't seem worth it. I agree, but kind of a moot point now. So anyway, other than that, yeah, a lot of other kind of changes here. And then there were some camo challenges that were changed as well. I know one was like, there was a camo challenge for an SMG that was like get 15 kills akimbo, but you can't equip that SMG in akimbo. So people were very confused. They fixed that. They made it like a different challenge now. I don't know if that was in this patch or the next one, but yeah. And then that is pretty much it for the 17th. So now on to the 21st. This was Tuesday, yesterday. A couple other little changes here. Let's see. Okay, yeah. Wins will now progress armory unlocks without first completing daily challenges. Today's update includes UI modifications to reflect this change. So now it says that in game, which is good.
Adjusted ghoulie camo to prevent it from becoming overwhelmingly bright in dark environments. It still is. It is so bright. It's actually very distracting and hard to use if you're in like a dark area of the map. It's so bright, it like messes with your optic. It puts like a glare in your iron sight or in your optic, your field of view, it's so bright in the dark areas. So yeah, I guess they adjusted that a little bit, but I've seen it since then, and it's still just totally glowing and way too bright.
Yeah, every time I see it, I'm like, that thing is so fucking bright.
It gives your position away.
Yeah, it really does seem to. So anyway, other than that, let's see. Oh, PSA, by the way, we are on week 2. Do your weekly challenges for week 2.
We're on week 3 now.
Oh, are we?
Week 3 just dropped today. Yeah, it's it's an akimbo stock, I believe, for the Uzi.
Okay. Oh wow, yeah.
But you can go back and do all the challenges.
Your weekly challenges.
So you can still do week 1. You can definitely still do week 2.
Oh, you can. Okay, good.
Well, I think so. Good. They still show up. It doesn't seem like they're locked.
They explain that there's some way to do it if you don't do it.
I think you can do it up to a certain point because it only shows weeks 1, 2, 3, 4. So maybe it's like it gets to a certain point and then it's like, all right, once week 4 is finishing, these are all locked or something. Maybe I don't know.
No, they said
they'll do other
They
ways
said
to
after
unlock
that, there's like a different challenge or something you'd have to do.
Yeah.
Kind of like when guns go out of the battle pass when the next season comes. Yeah. So anyway, other than that, Derail, they increased visibility a little bit. Estate, they did that as well. And then some weapon balance changes as well. Holger 556 nerf. I think that's worth talking about because this was like GA'd in the CDL and it's really, really good, I guess. DG58, same thing, nerfed quite a bit. I did see someone in text chat randomly this morning saying like, oh man, the DG like is not as good as it used to be.
Yeah, they nerfed it pretty hard. Wow. Rifle. Neck damage went from 1.4 to 1.1. And like we talked about last week, neck damage is almost upper torso damage because it's so big on some of these guns.
You're
so that's
always
a lot.
hitting that with a burst fire gun.
Yeah, you are.
For sure.
And they decrease damage, burst delay. Wow.
Yeah. And then those are like the big dominant ones. There were other weapon changes that I'm not going to get into.
They buffed the striker.
But I do want to read... What?
They buffed the striker. That one actually, that was, I think, like really the only buff they did to all the guns.
Oh, yeah. Well, they buffed the AMR9 also, but yeah. And then here's what they say about all the weapon balance. We're not reading all of it. The highlight of this pass is a reduction of the lethality of the FR556 and DG58. Both weapons will now require 2 headshots to kill an enemy with a single 3-round burst. Probably a good change. Maybe. Yeah, probably. Additionally, these changes aim to improve the consistency and viability of SMGs to the intended target for the class. So, yeah. There's still plenty of weapon balancing to be done. I think SMGs, excuse me, by and large are still underperforming.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later too.
More about that. Yeah. And then some perk changes as well. Ordnance Glove. Removed undocumented reduction to the cook duration of frag grenades. What? I don't know what that means.
Removed undocumented. So it's like, so they were reducing the cook duration of frag grenades.
They were, so I guess if you had them equipped, yeah, that's what I'm reading from this is if you had these equipped, the fuse on your frag grenade was shorter
on your
even
own
though it
frag
didn't
grenade.
say that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And now it's
that wouldn't be great to have.
Should.
You just blow yourself up.
Yeah, you just be like, wait, what's going on? Yeah. I mean, it would be kind of nice if you knew.
Yeah, that's true. If you knew, you'd definitely kill yourself quite a few times with that though on accident.
Yeah, in game, of course. Yeah. And then anyway, some other zombies changes here. Yeah. Essence can no longer be stowed. Wonder what that means.
Essence can't be stowed in your backpack. Extra stacks of it, I guess.
Yeah. Close an exploit that permitted duplication of score streaks for that turret thing Tanner was talking about. And then, some other little things. A lot of it's kind of like exploit and bug fixing, and that's kind of it. So nothing too crazy in the patches. this week. Couple little weapon balance things and a couple like exploit loophole closes, cleaning things up. And again, these are the kind of patches I would expect this early on in the game. It's kind of making sure everything works properly. I will add, I've been playing a lot since launch, and the game's performing very well for me. For the most part, like all my challenges have been tracking so far as expected.
Yeah.
If not even easier than they appear. And I haven't crashed literally one time.
I don't think I have either. I was just thinking that. I still don't think I've crashed. I don't crash. I get a lot higher frames on Urzikstan and zombies than I do in Almaza right now. I'm talking like on average 50 frames higher, so I hope that translates to Warzone. Multiplayer feels great. Good stability. Yeah. It's been great.
Yeah, so and the game's fun. I'm having a lot of fun, and I'm very excited to talk about it in our next Patreon bonus episode. And again, some other little tips we've learned and all that. And we have a lot of tips on that camo grind again to get into. But anyways, now into a couple of hidden patch notes. Number one, and we will talk more about this on Saturday. But I do want to say it now because this might actually change by Saturday. If it didn't change yesterday, I'm not really sure.
I don't think it has yet.
If you need a weapon camo that requires multi-kills, so like double kills or more, apparently you can do those in private matches. So go play Rust free-for-all with whatever gun you need multi-kills on. Set the difficulty to recruit and just farm bots for your multi-kill camo. I don't know if this still works, but as of like 2 days ago, I know it
works
was
yesterday.
Working.
But so it doesn't work for everything. It's just a few specific guns. So like all of the shotguns require double kills. I don't think it's all of them. I had heard it was just the Riveter. So just the Riveter, the SVA 545 definitely works from what I heard. I want to say it was a total of like 3 or 4 guns. Was the RGL one of them? The RGL double kills may have been one. I don't remember. Somebody put out a video like last week though, and they showed the specific guns that worked, and I think it was only like 4 guns. I thought I did my SVA multi-kills. I actually need to do that because I'm on the Forge challenge. I should do that real quick right after the pod before they nerf it.
Yeah,
because it's not hard getting multi-kills, but getting 25 of them, the difference between doing it versus bots and in a regular match, I mean, that's like probably 3 matches in core, 3 or 4 matches to get 25 multi-kills, somewhere around there, or 3 minutes in private match. So yeah, that one works. Riveter double kill supposedly works. Maybe it was an LMG, one of them worked too.
Yeah. So worth looking into, because they might close that loophole by Saturday. So I just thought I'd say it now.
Yeah.
And then another hidden patch note is they did change the war mode. So a lot of people in our Discord, in our community, including Tanner and I, have kind of realized that war is really good for a lot of camo challenges because you're on a track and it's the same track every game and it's very predictable and people don't spawn behind you. And once you played it enough, you know where people are going to peak, where they're going to be, and you can farm like a ton of camos this way.
Yeah.
Especially because it's like playing the same map 24/7. So like if you're going for bullet pen kills, for example, it's nice to have the same map every match because then you can learn where all the easy bullet pen spots are. So that's true for war for like every reason. So anyway, war was really good for a lot and for just leveling. There are more people, so the SBMM isn't as strict, whatever.
Yeah, you could stand on the tank when you're attacking and get kills. That's double XP because it's an attacker
Objective kill.
You can shoot somebody who's, if you're defending, you can shoot them if they're on the tank. That gives you defender kill. There's a lot of things you do. Building the sandbags is like more XP. It's like
weapon XP.
It's like the amount of weapon XP of getting almost 2 kills, I think. So just like build that. Really simple. Just easy little ways to constantly gain XP. get a lot of kills in general.
Yeah,
it's a very small area.
And unfortunately, yesterday, without putting it in the patch notes, they ruined it.
Yeah, it's
they ruined the war mode. So basically, if you guys have played it, on the defender side, there are orange lines on the ground on the map at every phase, where if you go past the orange line, you will be out of bounds and you'll die within 5 seconds if you stay out of bounds. The lines were drawn in such a way that you could not go into where the attackers spawn, basically. So if they're coming from A and you're defending B, if you run too close to A, you'll cross that line and then you'll be out of bounds, so you can't be there. Those lines, they pulled them way back at like every phase. So now the tank phase, phase 2, where the attackers are escorting the tank, you basically can't defend it anymore because they pulled the lines back so far, so much farther than they were. They didn't say this anywhere. I was playing yesterday morning and there was a playlist update. I didn't even do a BattleNet update. It was just a playlist update available. So I said, okay, whatever. Played again and the lines were way farther back. And now that mode is just ruined. It's not fun anymore because it's impossible to defend now. So I don't know why they did this. They didn't say anything about it. I don't expect them to because I don't think war mode was super popular. But this is a real shame, and I thought I would point it out. And it's not just you, if you were curious when you noticed this, if you were insane or something. They, in fact, changed it. So F's in the chat for war mode. Just something to, point out to you guys. So very cool. Psych. And again, I don't know why they did it. The best section in that mode was escorting the tank. And that used to be the longest
that was the most
section. Fun. And now it's the shortest section because that was the one that got nerfed like the hardest. So
yeah, it's funny because they changed that yesterday. So they ruined that yesterday. But yet, at the same time, they haven't fixed the bug where players are on the roof, out of bounds every single match. So they ruined the mode, and then everyone is still on the roof.
They didn't fix that?
No.
Oh, no.
No, and it's always in that middle section. Somebody's always on the roof. It's so annoying that they don't fix that. So, yeah, they just ruined the mode. I mean, even when I was playing yesterday, like so many randoms even in the game were like confused as to what was happening. They're like, why did we spawn back so far? And like people were complaining about it. They're like, yo, this is stupid. So yeah. They just unfortunately totally ruined it, which really sucks. I hope they revert the change. But yeah, it's like a major change to the flow of war mode, and then they don't put it in the patch notes. So just, yeah. Don't forget, none of the COD studios care about you. They all lie to you, and they're not good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's true. It's official.
It's official.
Yeah. So, anyway, not good and also bad, but whatever. We look to the future with a blog post from Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Modern Warfare 3, Warzone Season 1 Intel. So basically, this is an intel drop on what Season 1's going to be like. A lot of big words, and we're going to hit you with the important details here, as they say in Britain. Multiplayer, all new maps, 3 new Sixes maps come to MW3 Season 1, with the first 2 available on day 1. Here's what they are. Number 1 is called Meat. So it's a 66 map. This will be in at launch. They named it Meat. I find that pretty funny. And the screenshot here looks like a map for sure.
It's a very small map.
Is it?
That's what it's supposed to be. A very small, fast-paced map, yeah.
Okay. I like that. I like small, fast-paced maps.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. The screenshot doesn't really tell me much. I have no idea what's going on inside that building.
It's a slaughterhouse. Yeah, that's all I know. Great painting, mural on the side of that slaughterhouse.
Yeah, the mural's very pretty.
They've got like cows grazing. It looks like they're eating flowers actually, which is interesting. Cows really enjoy flour or what? So they're eating flowers while inside they're being slaughtered for meat, right?
That's a kind of an interesting choice for a mural at a slaughterhouse. Yeah. So shout out to meat, but
East
small
Bay
map.
meat.
Sounds like it looks good. So we'll see how that plays.
Yeah.
And then the next one is called Greece, just the whole country.
Just Greece,
This map is called Greece. That's crazy. Can you imagine just naming a map Mexico?
That's the first thing I thought. I was like, Greece, huh?
Isn't that weird?
Maybe
Like,
they'll make a war map on Greece where it's like 3 or 4 sections. So it actually kind of maybe makes sense naming something Greece because it's over a bunch of areas. I don't know, man. That's pretty cool, though.
I guess, yeah. I mean, we have Mercado Las Almas, which is like one market in one town in the country of Mexico. But Greece is just Greece. You're just playing on Greece, which is a 6s map, by the way. Sounds like it might be too big, but here's what they say. Prove you're no mere mortal in this medium-sized Mediterranean-inspired map.
Why would they say
that? They love the letter M, based on a coastal town.
Why would they say prove you're no mere mortal? Why would they do that?
I don't know, man.
Is this like the haunting event still? What does this mean? I don't like that.
The only thing I like Greek gods, I guess, but like every country has like gods. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. The map looks pretty, but it's going to have a bunch of water. So this will actually be interesting to see how it plays. The first real water map in this game.
It'll suck. There's a lot of water in this screenshot.
It's going to be interesting to see too,
sized.
like using how everyone gets a default pistol underwater, how that's going to play out.
Oh, true.
Oh, but you know, I was thinking we were going to get this before Warzone and we can kind of like feel it out, but never mind. This comes out when Warzone drops, so never mind. Doesn't matter. Pretty looking map though. I like the setting.
It looks pretty, but it's almost, well, I don't know where this water is. It's hard to tell what a map is going to be like from a screenshot, obviously, but
True.
There's a lot of water in this screenshot.
I'm picturing this is the edge of the map. Like the map edge is on the left side here. And we're basically looking maybe from one spawn kind of towards the middle. But if the water's just the middle of the map, it will be horrendous, yes.
Yeah, that's a great point. If the map continues left, bad map. If it continues right, maybe salvageable. That's a good point. Yeah. So we'll have to see. I don't know. But my expectations are not high for Greece. And then the next map is called Rio, and this will be coming mid-season. Take in the bright colors, tight quarters, and elegant streets in a fight through an upscale shopping center.
Interchange.
There's a lot going on in this screenshot.
There's a lot.
A lot of visual clutter.
Tight quarters.
It's pretty.
Correct.
But there is a lot of... There is a lot going on in this screenshot.
Who's the woman?
She's a model for FMO, I guess.
Okay.
That's what I've gathered.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know what to say about this
Mercado
map.
Rio Largo? Does that mean a large market? What does that mean? Rio
I think Largo
Largo
is long. So Long River Market.
Long River Market. Okay.
Yeah.
So water. Okay.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know what's going on here.
Not liking the location of this palm tree here. I personally would not have planted this palm tree right in the middle right there. Real strange area. Just having a little palm tree in the courtyard. I don't know. Not liking that. Need
that is bizarre, isn't it?
That. Yeah, a little weird.
Yeah, keep it out of the little...
Not the best spot for it.
What do they call that? A little outdoor area like that?
Yeah, what would you call that? It's kind of like a little...
Oh God, there's a word and I can't think of it. It's like it's not like a patio.
I would have preferred a tree with more shade there. You need shade because they got areas to sit. You know, you need some more shade there. But yeah, pretty
like
looking map.
Yeah. I don't know my trees very well, but I do. Yeah, I can imagine
know what a palm tree is, though.
A more shaded
loft. Absolutely not a loft. No,
super not a loft.
No.
Yeah.
No, not even close. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways.
Anyway. Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to play it, but it's coming mid-season, so there we go. And then they say other things with their words.
Wait, one more thing. Know what I like about this?
2v2 is back.
These small maps they're saying good for shotguns, which are supposedly really bad in this game. Maybe if you haven't done those yet, you can do those in core instead of hardcore.
I don't think the shotguns are that bad. Jake hated the Riveter, but I like leveled it fine. I don't know.
Courtyard. That's what it must be. A courtyard. Yeah, that's what we'll call it.
Yeah, we'll call it a courtyard. Sure. The pump is nasty.
Is it?
Yeah, dude, it's good. Once you get like attachments on it, it's nasty.
I just don't die to them that often, so I don't know if people just aren't on them yet or if they're not good. I can't tell. I haven't used them.
They're just not versatile at all. So like in the first section of War where you have to capture the 2 little SAM sites or whatever, you know, the garage?
Yeah.
Dude, you go in there with a shotgun and you win every single gunfight.
Do you?
You one tap everything.
Unless they
always.
have a knife.
Even if they have a knife, you're probably dead.
You're dead, yeah.
I don't have fast enough reaction time, so they will lunge 15 meters before I pull the trigger. That's true. But if I do pull the trigger, they're for sure dead. It's really good in that garage. But yeah, they're just not situational enough in this game. Or they're too situational. Anyways, whatever. Moving on. We are going to be getting, gunfight. So there are gunfight maps. First one's called Training Facility. It will be at launch.
The other ones
fine.
are returning 2v2 maps, yeah.
Yeah, Training Facility looks fine.
It looks like a training facility, yeah. It looks like it'd actually be really good for gunfight. This looks like a really good gunfight, Matt. Well balanced.
It looks super basic and symmetrical.
I'm a little worried. Left side here, you see this on the left side of the image, there's a metal staircase going up. Wonder if you can get upstairs there. Because then that little area, it kind of like the window looks small. Like you would have a crazy amount of cover. I wonder if that's a playable area, because that seems a little weird for a gunfight map. Somebody could just get up there and head glitch. You see the one hair sticking off the top of their head, and they're shooting you and killing you.
It's a good question. Yeah. I don't know. Can't really tell. But it looks like completely symmetrical. And also, there's not too much cover. It looks like a really good gunfight map, actually.
Yeah.
I think it looks really solid. So anyway. And then I guess that's it. We get one gunfight map?
No, the other, one new one. The other one are returning 2v2 maps.
Got it. Okay. And that's good too, because the gunfight maps from MW19 were, with 2 exceptions, extremely good maps for gunfight. So, oddly enough. So anyway. Next section, Zombies, Rifts, and Wonder. So the story continues in Season 1. And you have to investigate a massive, mysterious gateway that has appeared in the exclusion zone. Enter the rift. So there's a sinister and chaotic challenge in a rift. Friend zone.
Dark Aether rifts are a new
wonder weapon. And then new acquisitions and schematics and all that.
So for the rift thing, it says Dark Aether rifts are a new end game experience to master once players have completed the seasonal mission.
Oh, there you go.
I think this is basically the 4th zone we're going to kind of touch on later in this episode. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this wonder weapon, moving on to that, what does this do? It's called, why did they say friend zone? Modify.
Super good question. Oh, because it transforms enemies, zombie or human, into loyal allies.
That'd be kind of cool. That'd be kind of neat.
Yeah, that would be cool. I wonder how it works exactly, but that is interesting. Yeah.
It'd be cool if they like followed you and you could just have your own horde, but they won't. They'll just eventually probably run off and fall off a roof or something. Yeah, I wonder.
Yeah, good question. Yeah. That's a cool idea for a wonder weapon, though. Instead of killing in zombies, it actually, like, changes their side or whatever. So we'll see how that works. But yeah. More zombie stuff, and a focus on endgame zombie stuff, which is cool. Because a lot of people, once they finish all the missions or whatever, it's like, okay, what else is there to do in zombies?
Well, and that's why we stopped playing zombies. We finished everything. It's just boring now because we finished up to the 3rd act. We're all done, so.
We're not, for those of you listening. We will talk about zombies at a time, but we have not finished it yet. So anyway. Next section, Call of Duty Warzone. Welcome to Urzikstan. So we have a screenshot of Urzikstan. If you've played zombies, you're already familiar with the new Warzone map. And unlike in zombies, it will be bright and sunny. It looks like in Warzone.
Yeah, lighting looks fantastic and perfect. Yeah.
I actually really like this choice because it makes it feel somewhat like a different map. So even if you're a zombies main, going to Warzone will feel at least a little more fresh and unique than it otherwise would by virtue of playing on the same map. And more importantly, where I really want good visibility is the PvP mode.
Yeah.
So that's where I want it to be daylight, and that's a good decision there as well, obviously. So that's good. And it looks bright and sunny, which is fantastic. And then they write a lot of words. So not going to read those.
It's everything we talked about. Yeah, there are horizontal zip lines. There's a drivable train. We already talked about all this at COD Next.
All the movement changes will be coming. Yes, correct.
Expect details soon. So maybe next week we get a blog post on Warzone.
Yeah, yeah. And then obviously we're going to be getting MWIII guns as well into Warzone. And then when we do get that next blog post, that's where I think we're going to learn about all the new perks that we saw at COD Next. Like there were perks that are neither in Warzone currently nor MWIII. I forget the names of them, but there were like new perks that are I think Warzone exclusive. We will probably
there was like
learn
Mountaineer.
About that.
There were there were a lot of different. We saw I think 5 or 6 perks that do not exist in multiplayer. Yeah.
Correct. So we'll probably learn about those in the next blog post, which is what they say here. Season 1 full comms coming soon.
Yeah.
So this has been a glimpse, and they're gonna stay tuned for even more detailed intel in the coming weeks. So we're probably gonna get a blog post with all the details on Season 1, including those new Warzone perks and everything prior to the launch of Season 1. So that is going to be very interesting because I'm very curious, mainly to see what those perks are and how exactly that's going to work.
Do we still not have info for when Warzone Ranked is coming? It must not be till Season 2 because they say here there is still room for more surprises throughout the season, including multiplayer Ranked, which, it's supposed to be like Season 1 Reloaded, and a special snowy event at mid-season and more. So I wonder if Warzone Ranked doesn't drop until Season 2 then. They would have said Warzone Ranked somewhere in there, probably.
Yeah, probably, right? Yeah.
Because I know we heard something about it. I thought at COD Next. We knew it wasn't coming on launch, but yeah, maybe it's not till Season 2. Dude, I hope the snow event takes place in Warzone where they cover the map in snow. They won't, of course, but that would be so cool, and I want that so badly.
It would be cool.
They're going to put snow on one map. They're going to make it snowing on D-Rail in multiplayer. That's what they'll do. They'll make it actually snowing, and that's it. That'll be the event.
Instead of just snow on the ground. Yeah. So anyway.
Cool.
That's it for that absolute blog post though. So pretty interesting. Yeah. And they say, they said it was a sneak peek and that's really what it was. The new maps look interesting. One thing they didn't talk about at all, by the way, which kind of makes me annoyed, is the new guns we're going to be getting in Season 1. I would love to know what those are because I'm not getting my launcher gold. I'm going to be getting whatever they add instead, gold.
We already know what they are. They've been leaked. It's the TAC Eradicator, which I think is going to be a marksman rifle or battle rifle. I don't remember what it was. I think there's another...
According to JK, and it's going to be an LMG, so it will not be an LMG. It's probably going to be a marksman or
I think he
rifle,
just put that in the category there. I know it's not an LMG, yeah. Okay, marksman rifle. And then I don't remember. The other guns have already been leaked. Oh, I think it's the Ram 7. I think that's coming Season 1.
Ooh.
The not Ram 7, but the Ram 7.
Yeah, right.
I think is coming, so.
Yeah, so we'll see. So, yeah.
Cool.
Anyway. We will go over all that when we get the next blog post, so.
Hello there and happy Thanksgiving. This ad read today is brought to you by us, another Dropshot ad. Again, guys, we keep saying this. If you're thinking about joining the Patreon, it's such a good time. Banger episodes. They're coming out all the time. Early access, so important right now. Here's what you do. Join at the gold tier for $5 a month. You get early access, ad-free public episodes. 3 COD-related bonus episodes every month, as well as every bonus ep we've ever recorded. There's like 150 plus in there, a back catalog of episodes. And of course, you get access to the patron-only Discord channel. Our first bonus episode this month was a multiplayer deep dive. It was very productive, gave us lots of ideas for new perk setups to try. And on Thanksgiving Day, yeah, we're working overtime, it's cringe. We'll be recording another Modern Warfare 3 Impressions episode. We'll dive deeper into the maps, the weapons, game updates, the new modes, and much, much more. It'll be an absolute banger. For $10 a month, guys, gets you the Platinum tier, everything from the Gold tier alongside one Q&A episode every month where you guys can ask the questions or hear the answers. Damascus, the Chad tier, $20 a month, gets all of that plus behind-the-scenes episode, a monthly Damascus-only patron hangout, which we're doing this week, by the way, Modern Warfare 3 Customs, and you get access to the Discord Damascus Lounge, the best channel in the Discord. So listen, if you hate hearing this ad, just sign up for the Patreon. It's that simple. Now back to the show.
Now on to news and upcoming changes. What do we got here, buddy?
Starting off, we got some info from Sledgehammer COD. They say, thank you, Modern Warfare 3 players, for setting a new Modern Warfare engagement records.
Whoa.
This season, we are thankful for you. Okay. Thank you for a historic launch. Just 2 weeks in, Modern Warfare 3 has already set records with the highest engagement in the new Modern Warfare trilogy.
Wow.
That is very specific. The highest engagement in the new Modern Warfare trilogy. Okay. So they have a lot of engagement, by the way, because they're creating engagement. They're tweeting. That's why there's so much engagement. That's what Infinity Ward does not do. People are responding to them. Yeah. So that's why there's
because engagement. Yeah.
It starts with the studio. They're the ones that start the engagement online. Infinity Ward does not do that. They forget they have a Twitter account. Yeah.
Yeah. If you try to engage with Infinity Ward, you are tweeting into the void.
Yeah. You know what?
No one has access to the Infinity Ward Twitter account.
So
it doesn't have a login that anyone knows. So
no, they lost the password a few years ago.
Correct.
So I think we finally need to issue a formal apology to that woman who ran the comms at Infinity Ward in 19. What was her name? We hated her because we thought it was her fault. What was her name? Damn it, dude. We always used to talk about her. We used to always complain about her.
And then she went on.
I don't think so. She went on to work for Microsoft, funny enough. So now she's working for Activision again. But we hated her. But you know what? It wasn't her fault. It's just Ashton Williams. Ashton Williams.
That's
Ashton Williams, this is our official apology. Well, I mean, you're obviously horrible at your job. You are definitely just miserable, but so is everyone else there.
I don't apologize, to be clear. Tanner does not speak for me.
Okay.
I do not apologize.
I don't apologize. You suck at your job, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
So moving on.
Ashton.
Thank you for inspiring us and spending so much time in this game. Blah, lame. Your feedback makes us better, and thank you for playing with us. It's been a blast. Don't care. Congratulations to our talented colleagues at Treyarch for setting a new Modern Warfare record with Modern Warfare Zombies. And another shout out to players for making all this possible. To celebrate, look for a triple feed holiday weekend this week with double XP.
Which we have now, yeah.
And circle your calendars for Season 1 launch on December 6th. I guess we didn't say that when we were going through the blog post. We should have said that at the beginning. Season 1 launches December 6th, which is a Wednesday. Wednesday, I'm assuming 9 a.m., 10 a.m. That is when we'll get the new multiplayer maps. That is when we'll get new content. That is when the Warzone integration will take place, the launch of Season 1. So notice they're doing it much earlier this year. So they'll have, let's see, the 6th.
Oh, yeah.
So they'll start taking off for Christmas break around the 13th, and they'll be off until the 3rd because they take 3 or 4 weeks off. So they'll have a week to fix some game-breaking bugs.
Which they don't deserve.
Yeah. Usually they give themselves 4 days to fix game-breaking bugs. We'll have 7 this time, though, yeah. Yeah, but actually it's
a big deal.
It's like 10 days earlier than they normally do it. So
that's actually a big deal, and I'm glad you said that because I totally forgot about that.
Yeah.
The earliest possible is good because, like Tanner just said, that affords them some time before Christmas break to fix the bugs that will be in the game after a huge content drop like this, and or massive weapon imbalances.
Yeah.
This should afford them enough time to put the game into a playable state before they all take entirely too much time off for vacation.
Yeah.
When they can't fix anything. So that's really good, actually. And it's just, an earlier date at which we're going to get all the content, which is nice as well. But yeah, I'm glad you pointed that out. That's really good to hear for Warzone players, for sure.
Yeah.
So I do wonder, by the way, what is record-breaking engagement? Like people playing the game?
And yeah, there's some other stats here. We'll read it right here.
Hours in the game.
So then they say, thank
players?
you. More hours per player overall than Modern Warfare 2019 and Modern Warfare 2. So players that are playing the game are playing it more hours.
More than 19?
Yeah, but don't forget, 19 launched. You're probably thinking more COVID. 19 was still like, well, it was very popular, but that was still pre-COVID at the time when multiplayer launched. There was a lot of excitement around it. You know what, honestly, part of it is so many people are going for the camo this year since it's entirely too easy. So people that would usually kind of just maybe stop playing multiplayer are playing it more so they can do the camo because they're like, oh, the challenges are easier and I have to do 15 less guns than last year. I'm just going to do this. So I bet that's holding a lot of players to continue playing it. And then that's also counting zombies, which is bringing in players that wouldn't even normally play Call of Duty multiplayer.
That's true. So this is good, by the way, because, I mean, this game is better than MW19 and MW2, obviously. So the fact that people are more engaged with it says to Activision and the devs that whatever they did this year, which is slower TTK, better movement, actually talking to the community, etc., is what players want. So that makes them more likely to make decisions like this, like they've made for MW3 in the future, because they want high engagement, because the longer you play the video game, the more likely you are to buy microtransactions, which they know. So they really like high player engagement per player. That's how they make their money, besides just the box sales. So that's really good. And this is nice to see because a lot of like the video game review websites had reviewed MW3 before it even launched because they played the campaign and didn't like it. So MW3 didn't like sell as well, I don't think, as MW2. I'm not sure about that. And we'll probably know more at the next quarterly report by Activision. We can compare those numbers. I think that'll be more indicative of MW3's success or not. And we will cover those when they come out. But until then, I've heard the sales weren't as great as MW2, and the reviews weren't as great as MW2. And that was a little worrying to me as a player who likes to play MW3, because those things signal to Activision to not make MW3 decisions ever again. On the other hand, we have this higher engagement for MW3, which signals to Activision to make these decisions again.
Yeah.
So hopefully box sales and microtransaction sales are going to start to flow, especially once season 1 hits, we get Warzone integration. Those numbers come up. Then hopefully everything aligns and Activision sees a clear signal that players want the decisions that were made by the MW3 devs. Red dots on the minimap, faster movement, slower time to kill. In other words, a dev studio that actually listened to player feedback and implemented it, instead of listening to player feedback, saying they heard the feedback and then not implementing it and saying they're not implementing it for reasons. So hopefully these things all end up aligning, but this is a great first step. I'm really excited about this.
Yeah, that is true.
Shout out to Sledgehammer Games.
Yeah, and then they go on to say Zombies is the most engaging third mode in MW history, which, I mean, what would that be going up against? Just Spec Ops, so yeah.
Other games, Zombies, and Spec Ops, yeah.
Well, third game mode in Modern Warfare history, so it would have to be Spec Ops, because DMZ is part of Warzone.
Modern Warfare history.
Unless they're counting DMZ, but I don't
Spec
think
Ops.
so, because DMZ is part of Warzone, because it's free to play. So yeah, they're just comparing it to Spec Ops, which means nothing. So, but yeah,
it probably also has more playtime than DMZ, though. I would imagine
a lot of people like it. They're starting to like it more. Yeah. And then campaign players putting in more time per player in Modern Warfare 3 than the previous 2 installments. That's interesting.
I believe that too, because some people want to unlock all 21 for the free roam missions or whatever,
Yeah.
where you had to like look for the guns so you could use them.
Yeah.
I believe that.
That makes sense.
It's probably the only reason.
Doesn't mean that. Yeah, they definitely didn't have more fun in this campaign. They just had to spend more
I
time
don't
in
think
it,
so. Yeah, right.
Looking
Correct.
for the guns, yeah. So we're going to move on here. Next little section. Sledgehammer did a Q&A on Reddit like 3 days ago.
Wow.
So I've gone through here and I've taken screenshots of things that I thought were important, of questions. They didn't answer that many. I don't know how many answers we have here. Maybe like 10, 15, 12. I mean, they probably only answered like a total of 20 or so. So I have most of them on here. A lot of them just didn't matter. So yeah, we're kind of just going to fire through these. Not a ton to say about most of these, kind of just more interesting little things we've learned about the game. But yeah, I guess we'll touch on them as we go through them. So the first one, somebody asked about theater mode coming back. Sledgehammer says, theater mode requires significant time and resources to implement. Because of this, we currently do not have any plans for it in MW3. I don't think theater mode ever comes back to COD, to be honest. Like ever.
I don't really care either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People want it for like their little montages and videos like that. It would be cute to have like go back and watch replays.
It was really cool.
Yeah.
To be fair, I think the last time we had it, I know actually, it was BO4, and that was really cool, but it was like super detailed. Like you could go third person and pause at any second and like look at what's going on. I know that would require a lot of time and resources. I totally believe that.
Yeah.
And with how many game modes that Activision tries to do these days, they don't have the time. If they tried to make a theater mode, it wouldn't be good, and then every other game mode would also be worse because they took away dev time to make the theater mode that isn't even good anyway in the first place. It's not, the juice isn't worth the squeeze in my opinion. So
yeah, agreed.
It was cool, but yeah, whatever.
So next one, somebody asked, is headquarters returning? Which was the thing they did in World War II, where you can walk around, hang out with people in a little area. There was like a firing range and stuff there, I think. So this is what a lot of people thought was coming because they released a trailer that showed a group of people hanging out like in a lobby together, like literally in like a hotel lobby. And they're like, oh, they were calling each other their in-game names. They could like see their KD or whatever, their stats. So people are like, oh my gosh, headquarters is coming. Absolutely not. Yeah, unfortunately not. So they say, to this day, we're incredibly proud of the headquarters in Call of Duty World War II. Unfortunately, such a feature is a large undertaking. Because of this, there are currently no plans for it to return in MW3. Yeah. So that whole commercial was a bait, and yeah, everybody got baited by that. Next up, people ask about if they're going to buff shotguns. I use them all the time, blah, blah. They're not good in this game. Shotgun management is something the team is looking into. The time to kill of this game does make balancing shotguns extra challenging, but it is important for us to make sure that we can carve out a space for these weapon types for the people who enjoy playing with them. Yeah, a slower time to kill, as we've said a lot, does make it harder to balance a lot of these guns. Same things with snipers. If it takes 8 shots to kill somebody, but a sniper can do it in 1, they're very overpowered. But then if a sniper has to 2-shot, they're very underpowered, right? So the slower the time to kill, the harder it gets to balance guns. That's why the knife is so good in this game. I hit somebody 4 times in the chest, they're sprinting at me, it doesn't matter. They move so fast, they're on top of me, they knife me once, and I'm dead in the game. So,
yeah. The only shotgun that's hard to balance, though, to be fair, is the pump. Because, like, you can pretty easily, or more easily, balance the semi-auto and full auto shotgun that's in this game. Because that is expected to be multiple shots to kill, right? Yeah. So the longer TTK, I don't think makes it as hard. It's really just like you said, the one-hit kill weapons. And for shotguns, the pump is that case. Right now, by the way, like I was just saying earlier, the pump is a one-shot kill. I don't know how far it is, but in core, hip fire only, I went on like a 21 in war mode in that garage, that stupid little garage, defending the little SAM site there. Very easily, by the way. So I don't know. I don't think shotguns are too overpowered or underpowered. I haven't used them a ton, but they're all max level. I've used them enough. I think they're actually already in a pretty good spot.
Yeah.
And I wonder what this kid thinks needs to be changed about shotguns who asked this question. So I'm very curious, but anyway, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, and then somebody asked about SMGs. This one is interesting. Sledgehammer says, the data we have shows the most used SMGs are underperforming, and that isn't great. We are currently happy about where the Rival 9 is in the meta, and we are looking at the other SMGs with this in mind. So this confirms they are going to buff other SMGs to be more similar to the Rival 9, which is the best one right now, rather than nerf the Rival 9, which sounds great. Because again, I have not done the SMG categories, but from everything I hear, most people are saying most of them are pretty bad. There are like a few that are good. There's like one that's really good, but most of them aren't that great. So that's good. All the SMGs are going to be getting a buff. They also say, I don't know if I put it in here, but Season 1 and Season 1 Reloaded, they say there will be like major weapon balancing. I think they wanted to wait a little bit longer, let people use all the guns, kind of gather data, and Season 1 will have a lot, and then I think Season 1 Reloaded is where actually more weapon balancing will take place. In multiplayer and, of course, Warzone.
Yeah.
So that's good to hear. Somebody asked about covert sneakers. Are they getting a nerf? They said currently there is 0 footstep audio with them and 0 counter. Is this intentional? So they say, we'll continue to monitor the performance. At this time, there are no planned changes to the covert sneakers. It is important to note that players aren't totally silent with this perk equipped. There are still other sounds that can give them away.
Which hate is that true. Stupid cope.
No, I mean, your gun makes a lot of sound. So the issue is you don't hear it, but the other player does. Like your gun, when you run, like rattles and make noise. Because yesterday, I was playing Skid Row. I was trying to get a wall bang with an LMG. I'm running covert sneakers because everyone is now, right? You don't hear footsteps anymore. Everyone's running covert sneakers. So I'm running them as well. And I'm running up. I'm right behind this guy. He's staring out the window. He doesn't hear me. So I'm like, all right, I'm trying to position myself right around the corner from where he is to get a pen kill so I can start shooting through the corner of the wall.
Oh, that's kind of smart, yeah.
He turns around and guns me. I'm like, how did this guy hear me? You watch the kill cam, and as I'm running, my gun is like making like metal jingling noises. And then like when I ADS'd, it makes another noise. The thing is, the player running covert sneakers needs to hear that audio feedback, I think, because then you can know how much sound you're actually making. Because I don't know, like, does tack sprinting make it louder? Is it the same level just walking and tack sprinting? I don't know. So it was very clear when you watch the kill cam, the guy doesn't hear my footsteps, but my gun is just making like constant like metal hitting each other sounds. I'm like, oh, okay, that's why he heard me. Got it. So like obviously covert sneakers are very good when there's action taking place, which is the vast majority of the time, but when I was just sneaking up on a guy with no sound taking place, he heard lots of audio cues from me. Yeah. So that's what they're saying. In case you didn't know, because I bet a lot of people don't know that your gun is making sounds and you're making sounds as you run. You're not totally silent at all. Mm-hmm.
You're not totally silent. But
that being said, the game is much worse this week than when I played last week because everyone is running covert sneakers. It's so much worse. Yeah,
they're still too good. Is I think the point. That's what annoys me about his reply. But yeah, that is a good little PSA. You do technically still make noise, and like if you reload, people will hear that. If there's like nothing else going on, but. I mean, most of the time, covert sneakers will make you quiet enough to where people will not hear you.
Also, like jumping makes sounds. Jumping and sliding still with covert sneakers, I think, makes sound. Yeah. I'm pretty sure.
And like mantling and
so that's what
all
they mean by that. Yeah.
I just wish they would just have bone conduction headset. Make it so you also hear people's footsteps who have covert sneakers, just not as loud.
Yeah. It could even be like
that would be such a good change.
Yeah. Like instead of 100% footstep audio with the headset on, you should get like honestly 10-20% footstep audio from people with dead silence so that it's still viable for them, but there is some sort of counter. And most people still probably won't hear if it's like 10 or 20%, you know.
Exactly.
I think that would be the better choice cuz my favorite thing is when dead silence enjoyers, which is most of the COD player base, they're like, oh, the spawns in this game just suck. The spawns are so bad. And then the next sentence, they're like, well, dead silence helps create a better gameplay flow, and it's more than just sound whoring for audio cues, right? You have to learn spawns and learn routes.
Well,
they just complained about how bad the spawns are in the game, right? That's my favorite thing. You can't trust the spawns. They don't make any sense ever. So
reading spawns is a skill gap. Also, the spawns are terrible. Pick one.
I can understand CDL wanting to use them because players do just sit still and not move if not. But like seriously, I don't like 0 footstep audio in pubs. It ruins it, I think. It gives bad players such a benefit by being able to just run some stupid route where no one would ever run and they show up behind me. It's like, you can't read that. How do you read that that's going to happen?
Yeah, of course. Exactly.
So, yeah, it's dumb. But anyway, somebody asked about desync and hit reg. Sledgehammer, our team in collaboration with Demonware is always working to improve server and game performance. We got a lot of good reports and data during the beta and launch window. Many improvements have been made and are further underway. Yeah. So cool. Somebody mentions the mouse input. They say it's in desperate need of fixing. There's something very weird going on. It's not. There's nothing weird going on. Sledgehammer, wrong one. The team is aware of a few things that may be contributing to what you're describing. We are looking into it. So all the super nerds are like, oh, they're fixing mouse input. No, this is a standard answer from a dev studio where it's like something may be causing an issue. Maybe we're looking into it. They're not, and nothing is wrong, and they're not doing anything about it. Yeah.
I think they might be looking into something, but this answer tells you that it's not the mouse input. The team is aware of a few things that may be contributing to what you're describing. If the problem was with mouse input, they would have said the team is aware of mouse input issues. But it's obviously not. The issue isn't with mouse input because the mouse input is fine. The team is aware of other things that could feel like bad mouse input. So a million things, by the way, could feel like bad mouse input. You didn't turn your hertz on your monitor up to what you have. So you're running at 60 hertz. So the game doesn't refresh as often on your screen. So it feels like you move your mouse and then like a split second later, your cursor moves instead of right away. That could be a refresh rate problem. That could be a FPS problem. Or it can just be a cope for when you die and you want to feel like you can blame something else.
That's
other
the standard
than you not being
K-BAM cope
good.
in 23, yeah.
Is, the mouse input feels bad. Everyone says this about every game ever. I don't know why, and I almost never notice it myself. And if I do ever feel like the mouse input is bad, it's usually because the game has capped refresh rate, or it has capped FPS, or VSync is on, or something. So this is what Sledgehammer is saying, by the way. They're like, we're aware of some things that could be contributing to what you're describing. Like maybe it's even server tick rate wouldn't be it. Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, the mouse input is always going to feel how it feels now. I agree that they might like make the frames slightly higher with optimizations or something, but I don't know what else they could do.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like the mouse input is bad at all. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, input lag is related to frame rate for the most part. So if you're getting bad frame rate, if you have like a 240 hertz monitor and you're getting 90 frames in the game, you're going to have really bad input lag. That's the way that works.
And that will feel identical to mouse input lag.
That's the thing, though, is people keep saying, all the super sweats now are saying, like, it's not input lag. It's not the same weird. And they always say, like, it feels floaty. I get that it's hard to explain the feeling of it. But honestly, frankly, I really honestly don't believe him. I just don't. Because this is like the standard cope. It started in Battlefield 2042, which actually did have a mouse input problem. And people proved it. They showed how it worked, and I think it was Baranox did some sort of test, and he proved there was a bug with a mouse input, and the devs actually finally fixed it, or they did something to make improvements to it. So unless somebody does that with COD, I just frankly don't believe people that say it. I don't know. Because there are some really good K-BAM players that say they don't really notice it, and then others are like, oh my God, like the game's unplayable because of the mouse feel. I'm like, what? I don't know what you're talking about. But anyways, just saying that.
I don't know what floaty means.
That's what I'm saying. I totally understand how it's hard for them to
describe it.
Yeah, that would be hard to describe. So
I guess. Anyway, yeah.
Moving on, we're getting custom reticles back. No plans for custom reticles, of course not. Will y'all add the SPAS 12? There are multiple classic.
They answered this.
weapons from Modern Warfare series that we're looking to add in future seasonal updates, including shotguns and sniper rifles. So some things coming back. The Barrett, maybe. I was going to say the intervention, but I guess we already have that. Yeah, so we're going to be getting things like that. Maybe the M40 from like COD 4.
Yeah.
Car 98. Yeah.
Ooh, I would like a Car 98.
That would
actually
be nice to have, right?
Yeah.
Somebody asked about streak looping. It is an option in private games. Oh, I didn't realize that.
Oh, that's cool.
Should be rewarded if someone is able to stay on a long streak. So basically the way it works now, you get your 3 streaks and it's done. You never get them again. The last game that had looping streaks, well, I guess Cold War had it, right? Probably. I don't remember.
No, I don't think it did, actually.
Okay, then it was BO4. BO4 was the last game with looping streaks.
Yeah.
And you could have streaks up the whole game if you had a good team. You'd never not have a streak in the air. So let's be clear, it was fun when you were on the end streak looping the other team. It's not fun to go up against at all. At all. So I think for the balance of the game, I'm glad streak looping is gone for the most part. Unless they do a way to balance it better. But in BO4, it was so easy to loop. So easy. So they say
especially because score streaks were a thing, not kill streaks in BO4. That made it really easy to loop.
So Cold War did have
you would call in a
streaks,
Thresher, get 100 kills, and that's another 1,000 score towards your next UAV, which is going to get you more UAV assist score, which is going to take you towards your Mantis.
Yeah.
Etc. It was very easy.
You get your first streak and you basically guaranteed to have all 3. You just had to wait for your first one to come in, get the kills. That would give you the second one. You call that'd give you the third one, and then it just starts repeating. Yeah. So this is something the team definitely wants to try out. One of the cool things about our experimental playlist, they give us a chance to test how things work out in the wild. Expect to see something like this in a future experimental playlist. And make sure you share your feedback in the survey we place in the MOTD. Okay, so like an in-game survey you can take, I guess.
Yeah, in the survey we place in the message of the day. That's cool. Yeah, I like the experimental playlist, it does allow them to try things like that. That is really cool. I'm really glad. I don't know why all the dev studios don't do this because it doesn't seem hard. I mean, Sledgehammer can do it, so everyone else should be able to. And they can try stuff like this, like the red outlines they've been trying. People have been really liking that. That's in the experimental playlist right now. And then they could try streak looping or other things and see how that goes via surveys and player feedback. On the topic of streak looping itself, I don't really care. I mean, if it's not in the game, whatever. If it is in the game, whatever. I don't think it's a huge issue in either case, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I run... Hey, I don't need streak looping because I don't have any of them unlocked, right? I run UAV, counter UAV, and SAE or something. I don't even know.
Yeah,
I don't
the 3 they gave you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Somebody asked about the blast radius of grenades. They're actively investigating a reduction to the maximum damage of frag grenades. These changes will decrease the damage taken by players both at the center and outer edges of the explosion. Excellent. That combined with EOD working properly will make this game a lot better.
Are they ever going to fix EOD, dude?
I guess not. Yeah.
Is it even broken? Where did we hear it was broken? Did they acknowledge that it's broken? That EOD was not working against frags?
It was on the Trello board.
Okay.
It was on the Trello board, yeah.
Okay.
And then Gaia skin. What are you going to do about the Gaia skin? The problems. Adjustments to Gaia and Gaia Black Cell operator skins are in the pipeline. That sounds like it's a long ways away. For Modern Warfare 3. In a future game update, we'll disable this item until said changes can be released to all players. Let's go, baby. Gaia skin getting nerfed. It's so annoying. Yesterday I was playing War. Somebody's capping. So I'm defending in the first zone. I'm looking for him. I jump up. So it's like when you spawn in the first zone and you're defending, it's the flag on the right. So like where the tiny building is where you're talking about you shotgun. So the smaller area. Somebody's capping it. I jump on that dumpster there. I'm looking for them. I look straight down. Then I look away. Then I'm like, wait, I think I saw something there. Some guy with the Gaia skin was laying prone on the grass. He's just invisible. You can't see him. I wouldn't have known he was there if I didn't just get his name pop up when I finally ADS'd on him. It's ridiculous. Blends in way too well. So I'm glad that's gone. Another thing too, like I always say, it's a lot worse for K-Band players because aim assist, you'll get aim assist drag. So if you start aiming around, you get slowdown. That's what I mean. You get like slowdown. You're like, oh, there's somebody here. And then you start noticing that a lot more. And it's easier to track aim assist up close. It is so annoying and difficult to track somebody wearing the Gaia skin in a lot of lighting situations in this game. So, I mean, disable it now. Take it out of the game last week. I honestly expected them to do this like
yesterday, with that patch.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So hopefully they do it ASAP. I mean, this needs to be gone by the time Warzone comes out.
For sure. It's really dumb. Yeah. It's actually worse than the Rose skin, the infamous Rose skin from MW19, because at least the Rose skin was a body, but the Gaia skin, like a lot of the hitbox is just literally transparent because the skin has a bunch of holes in it where you can shoot the holes and you'll get damage, but you won't see them. It's really cringe. Yeah, it's a really cringe skin. By the way, on the Trello board, the EOD not working is still being investigated according to the Trello board. And this was last updated on the 13th. So it's been 9 days and they have not fixed it yet. So hopefully they don't forget, but
yeah. They forgot. So the next thing here, more info from Sledgehammer Games. This is why the impressions are up. There's a lot to be impressionable with, right? So they went on and they spoke to Repulse, who's a very popular Warzone streamer, if you don't know. Yeah, I guess that's the best way to describe him. Very popular Warzone streamer. So they went on with him live, and they answered some questions for like an hour or so. So we just have, I didn't watch it. I didn't listen to any of it. So the only tweets we have gathered are tweets from Charlie Intel. So if there was anything else important that Charlie Intel didn't tweet, I didn't hear about it, right?
I doubt Charlie Intel missed something important. So this is probably everything important from this stream. Yeah. So going down the list here, Modern Warfare 3 will have a stamina bar added to the HUD at some point. So this will show when your stamina regens related to tac sprint, sliding, what we were talking about at the beginning. This was in the game in an earlier build according to leaks, and then it was removed. So it is in fact coming to the game. And they say at some point, so I don't know what that means. Hopefully soon. This would be interesting to have for Warzone too. Super cool. Yeah, this will be really good.
Yeah.
You'll be able to figure out how it works too. Like, if they added the stamina bar for a week and then got rid of it, like that would honestly be fine. I'd rather have it forever, which is what we're going to get, which is ideal. But like just to be able to see how everything interacts with the tac sprint stamina bar is going to be so clutch. I'm really excited to learn exactly how it works. This is going to be really cool, and I'm really glad they're doing it.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is going to be awesome.
So next thing here, the stamina in Modern Warfare 3 does not reset while sliding. Well, it did so immediately after a slide in a beta. They removed that for launch. It pauses as you're sliding and then starts to reset seconds after slide in today's update. So that's when they did the movement change last Friday.
So that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Sledgehammer Games says they're looking at bringing back bunny hopping in some form in Modern Warfare 3. Okay.
That's surprising, by the way.
That's the thing I expected either on launch or not at all, pretty much. Yeah.
Exactly. It's weird that they are like still thinking about doing this after launch.
Yeah.
But I'll take it. That'll be really cool. If we have viable bunny hopping plus viable sliding, that would be really great. So that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next thing here, Sledgehammer's Games, is that the one I'm on? No, we're on this one. So Modern Warfare 3 will have the same seasonal prestige system as Modern Warfare 2. They said they looked into things but have not changed it. Not traditional prestige. Okay. That's an obvious.
It'll be the same bull poop system we have,
and they seem disappointed when they said the prestige system is stuck as the same seasonal system. Seems like they are aware of feedback of wanting the old back, but didn't change it in time for this year. Or it's probably more Activision won't let them change it, I would assume.
That's my speculation if they look disappointed. Yeah, true.
Yeah, that's what I would think. They also wanted weapon prestiges to return, but weren't able to get it in Modern Warfare 3. That'd be nice to have back. Yeah, there's so many little things.
I would love weapon prestiges, dude.
So know what's funny is like how you always hear stuff like this, like, oh, we didn't get it in time, we weren't able to do it in time. This game had to have taken the least amount of time out of the last like 10 Call of Duty games. If they don't have time for this one, when are we ever going to have time again to do any of this stuff? This game is just the core of Modern Warfare 2 with remastered maps. How much more time could you have had? That's what I don't get. So we're never getting any of this stuff back, unfortunately. This is an interesting one. So Sledgehammer Games on Quick Fix. We do have changes and ads on gear and boots coming in seasons. Okay. We don't hate Quick Fix. At this time, this is the balance we're going for. We are seeing feedback. If there's no strong, horrible negatives to it, there's no reason to not do it.
That's big.
So Quick Fix may be coming back.
The more interesting point than Quick Fix is that they do plan on adding gear and boots in coming seasons. And one of them might be Quick Fix. But the big point there is that we will be getting more perks basically added to multiplayer post-launch, which was one thing Tanner and I speculated about, which we didn't love. And to be clear, I don't love it. I'd rather have every perk on launch. But if we're going to get good, well-balanced perks post-launch, that's better than not getting them at all. So that's pretty nice. And whether or not we get Quick Fix is interesting. But I like that they specifically talked about Quick Fix. I would love for Quick Fix to come back in some form or another, as long as it's well-balanced. And I think they could balance Quick Fix for 150 health. Have the health regen be pretty slow, but it starts immediately after a kill.
Yeah, it starts quicker, yeah.
It like starts right away, that's the benefit. But it's like a pretty slow regen. Like maybe even slower than if you just waited 7 seconds without the perk. That would be still really good and worth using, but not overpowered.
One of the best parts of Quick Fix is you have the full visibility and you don't have like the hearing impairment any longer like you have when you sit there low health for 4 seconds. That's like honestly the most important thing for multiplayer almost. It's not even the actual health regen, it's that you can see and hear things again when you're one shot after you get a kill. So you immediately start the regen. So yeah, even if the health is regenning slowly, at least I can hear things and at least I can see things because it's not all muffled like when you're one shot in the game right now.
Yeah, for sure.
Devs says they're working to allow players to bind dive and slide to different buttons. Okay.
You can do that on KBAM, by the way.
Okay.
You just can't do it on controller, so get gapped controller kids.
Yeah.
I'll give you a little break here. There are a couple other ones. Sledgehammer said
Go to the bathroom.
They had some discussion about giving a bonus camo for finishing both MW2 and MW3 weapon mastery camos, but it created certain issues. They might look at it in the future again. This is one thing I speculated on. Sounds like it's not happening, basically. They might look at it in the future. They're not going to. So I think everything we see is what we're going to get. So there you go. Let's see. Sledgehammer says the experimental playlist is just to test out ideas and see different things, but not guaranteed that they'll be coming into all playlists. They may test out health regen and other things in the playlist as well. I would like to see a health regen test because I think the delay is a little on the long side right now. I run stim, so I don't remember how slow it is, but I do remember thinking it was way too slow before I had them unlocked. So that would be really nice. Because right now I want to say it's at 7 seconds. So if they made that, which is what it is in Warzone 2 currently, I think. So if they made that 5 instead, that would be a good start. So yeah, again, the experimental playlist, just a great idea. And I hope they try a lot of things there. Next, Sledgehammer says they have a list of updates they want to make to the firing range, but no concrete plans yet. Currently the little dummies are 100 health and they should be 150, and that'll be fixed soon. I wonder what else they want to change about the firing range.
There's a long list of things people want. People say when you shoot targets, give you a damage pop-up, but also The target you're shooting at is not going to be the same as a person standing there necessarily. So it's like you can see the damage values in game. Well, I guess you can't since it doesn't show limb damage value.
Yeah, I don't know. I wonder what the damage value even corresponds to. Because like every gun has head and upper torso at least multipliers. Those are already 2 different multipliers. And then usually they have more than that too, like tummy, lower torso. So what damage am I being shown? You know?
Yeah, I don't know. I think Ghost of Hope made a list of a lot of firing range changes, and I remember reading it, and I was like, oh, this would be cool to have, but I don't even remember what any of them are now at this point. Yeah.
Yeah, well, if we ever get it, obviously we'll go over it.
You know what? One of them I think was some sort of like recoil plot on the wall, so you could like maybe when you shoot the wall or something, the bullet holes like are a brighter color or something, and then there's some sort of like piece of paper you're shooting at, so you can see more clearly how the recoil differs from attachment to attachment if you test them and shoot at the wall twice or something. Something like that could be interesting, but you know, probably a lot of time on their end to create something like that really wouldn't be utilized that often, honestly. Like, it'd be cute to have all this stuff, and I'm like, am I going to go in there and actually like test my recoil if I have it? Probably not.
That's where I'm at. I barely use the firing range, but I know that it's cool and a lot of people like it. So if there are changes, that would be cool.
Do you actually just throw attachments on guns and not even test it in the firing range?
Most of the time. Yeah.
That's interesting. That's wild. Because it's so fast, especially you just shoot it, and I can like immediately tell, oh, the recoil's awful. I'm going to put on a recoil attachment instead, or like this attachment I just put on sucks. Never mind, this makes it too slow. I don't think pretty much every time I put attachments on guns, I go and test it real quick, just for like 3 seconds, just shoot a couple times, see how it feels.
Yeah, I probably should. I just don't really think to, because worst case scenario, I just die and then change it then. But yeah. Anyway, moving on. Sledgehammer on aim assist in MW3. It's at an okay place right now, but they want to look at it closer. Talking about options on aim assist, but they come with downside. Maybe remove options for aim assist so there's only one to tune. Trying to figure out the best solutions. So, I don't know what to gather from that. If anything, it sounds like they want to nerf it? Removing options for aim assist sounds like it would be nerfing aim assist.
Yeah, I think they're just saying like instead of like how they have Black Ops, Standard, I think there are like 2 more, maybe 2. That. Where realistically they probably don't do anything differently. It's less work for them to have to fine tune one of them, but this is just like a dev non-answer basically.
Yeah, I don't know what that means. I don't expect aim assist to change for this game at all. If aim assist is ever going to change, I think it would happen between titles, not within one. But anyway, yeah. Next here is a review from PC Gamer on MW3, in which they said it is not fun because Sledgehammer Games took a sledgehammer to the movement that Infinity Ward had in MW2. This reviewer calls slide canceling and faster mantling cheesy techniques.
Actual skill. Truly a skill. Truly a skill.
Casual alert. Yeah. Casual alert. Skissue alert. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I never ever read video game reviews for multiplayer games.
Ever.
No. They don't matter. Because think about it. If I work at PC Gamer and my job is to review video games, how many different video games am I required to play in a month? I don't know, but it's probably a lot. Meanwhile, if you want to get like good at any multiplayer competitive game, you need to play only that game for like a long time to like learn everything, or even learn enough to do a review on it. So this kid, whoever this reviewer is, and he is a kid, because all people that are casuals and bad at COD are kids, is just not good, obviously, and that's hilarious. That's a hilarious thing to say in a review. Yeah.
So what he said, his review was everything. It was about the campaign, then he touched on multiplayer. It was like primarily just a game review, which is more focused on the campaign and everything, but then he talks about multiplayer. So he said, I'm less excited about about the Sledgehammer taken to MW2's movement. Infinity Ward made the controversial choice to slow down operators and nerfed common movement techniques in hopes of encouraging more thoughtful, tactical play.
Oh my goodness.
This guy
remove tactical from the vocabulary
yeah.
of all these casuals, man.
Yeah.
Please.
I think it worked,
Please.
but Sledgehammer had the opposite idea. 1 week against the movement kings of MW3 has shown how minor changes to mobility can disrupt COD's whole flow. Empowered by quick mantling, slide canceling, and generous mid-air accuracy, my matches are full of players who lean on these cheesy techniques to outplay those who prefer to keep their boots on the ground. Me. True. This is the one time you can actually say truly a skill issue, and it's real and true. This is genuinely a skill issue. Yeah. The sweatiest corners of COD's community will tell you these are skillful maneuvers that make MW3 a deeper game. Maybe so, but they also make the action overly twitchy, unpredictable, and obnoxious. So this is from Morgan Park. He's all pissed. Charlie Intel tweeted this. He then retweeted it. He quote tweeted it and he said, "Oh, this is why weirdos are in my replies. Call of Duty news account pointing a finger at a review he doesn't like, LMAO." And this guy is getting torched on the TL. All of the comments are like skill issue, and then they're like, just say you're bad at the game. And he was getting baited and replying to half of them. It's so funny. So
check that out.
He's
That's
very
fantastic.
furious. Yeah, he hasn't deleted any of it. I hope PC Gamer fires him when they realize he's a horrible video game player. And never review or play a multiplayer FPS game again, Morgan Park, because you're obviously terrible at them. Play Starfield, man.
That's dude. It's actually just a skill issue. Yeah, they added techniques to the game that I don't like to use, therefore it's bad.
Yeah,
like okay, cool, man.
Yeah,
that's insane. That's so funny.
So moving on, a couple little leaks here, real quick. Round-based zombies there have been leaks about this. Somebody in Discord said that like J-God said round-based is probably coming or is coming in season 1, but I don't know. I don't know if it was in a video he said it. I haven't watched it, but round-based is supposedly coming back. There's been rumors of that. There's stuff in the files that say RBZ. So like round-based zombies, time between exfil spawns, round-based zombies, how long the radio is active for, and some other things. But there are numerous lines now that refer to RBZ, round-based zombies.
That sounds like round-based too, because in Cold War, there was a radio that came every 5 rounds, and if you interacted with it, it would call in the chopper. Yeah. Which is like the exfil thing. So those lines sound like things that would be in round-based zombies. Yeah. I would be surprised if we didn't get round-based in some form at some point this year. So this is not
like
surprising
season
to me
2
at all.
would make sense.
Yeah. It's actually not interesting to me to talk about whether or not we're getting round-based back. What's more interesting to me is going to be how well done will it be?
Exactly.
That's the leak I want to see. Because if it's just like the most basic possible thing you can make, and technically it's round-based ever, then who cares? It's going to be boring.
Yeah, exactly.
So we'll see. But yeah, it coming back is not surprising to me. I do wonder when, but yeah.
Yeah, and then this is all from Hey, I'm Alex, who's a leaker. Then he also goes on to say 4th zone in Modern Warfare Zombies confirmed. And there are some things there. It's talking about different zones. They say green zone, yellow zone, orange zone, and red zone. I also saw some other tweets, but I couldn't end up finding the tweets when I was looking for them. But there are people saying like there's the 4th difficulty zone coming, and it's kind of going to take place like outside of Urzikstan. Like it's probably going to be one where it like teleports you somewhere else, and it takes place like inside the dark ether, however you say it. And that kind of lines up with what where else were we just talking about that up here? Where it was talking about the new rift. So that could be kind of like a 4th difficulty zone, basically. So this is probably what they're referring to. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. But again, as I said earlier, maybe you only can access that by finishing all of the missions. So like doing all of the acts, having it complete, it gives you like another zone to play. Imagine they locked round base behind having to complete all of the acts. And the fourth zone is actually really just round based, but you have to complete all the acts to get it.
That would be a bad decision. Yeah. That would be a bad decision.
Yep.
But
so a few more things here, then we're done. Some Charlie Intel. So Windows Central is reporting that Activision is considering potentially offering weeks early access to COD 2024 Zombies mode via pre-order. So similar to what we get now with campaign, but you get access to Zombies a few weeks early. They also said the 2024 title will be a Black Ops title set in Gulf War, which we've been hearing about for like a year. Let's see if they say anything else interesting. I wonder if that would be multiplayer though, or if you could just play solo zombies.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, here, the next tweet, they say Windows Central also reports what we've heard about COD 2024. Treyarch will have round-based zombies in their game, but it's not clear yet how many round-based maps will be in at launch.
Yeah.
So probably wouldn't be PvP. Oh, yeah, but like, can you play with your friends early access? Probably, I would imagine.
That's, yeah. I'm kind of thinking
this would be awesome, by the way.
Yeah.
Super awesome. Because unlike campaign, if it's fun, especially, or if you can start leveling weapons before multiplayer launch, even, that would be really cool. To be like, 2 weeks before launch, you can play with your friends and you can level guns in round-based zombies on like 3 maps or whatever. Ooh, that would be juicy. And they would get a ton of pre-orders off the back of that too, by the way. That would be really cool, and I hope they do it.
Yeah, doing zombies early would be huge, but I
that would be really sick.
I find it hard to believe they would let you play online zombies early. I'm thinking it would just be like you play by yourself. Which is better than nothing, I guess, but I wouldn't play that. I would play that not much longer than I would play campaign, but a lot of people would really like that, I'm sure. And it gets people interested.
As long as campaign, honestly.
It would get people interested in zombies for them to like get some excitement going. So then when the game launches, they're like, oh, I can't wait to play zombies with my friends and now hop into these maps. We're getting another map on launch, 2 maps on launch. So that'd be a good idea.
There was something Treyarch did in Cold War where some people got like early access to zombies, but they also just disabled all the Easter eggs until it went live for everyone. I don't remember the details, but I remember that being a thing where it was like, some people get to play early, but they won't be able to do any of the lore secret stuff, or even maybe get the new wonder weapon in the map until it's available for everyone. And then they just turned that on.
I don't remember that.
So I could see them having it be like co-op enabled online zombies. Yeah. And then maybe they just lock the Easter eggs until like the official launch.
That'd be great.
It would be a real shame if it was one like solo only, but yeah, I don't know. Hopefully this is true though. This would again get a ton of pre-orders for them.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
So the last thing here related to some bundles. There's info coming out that there's another Boys collaboration coming up here soon. Another crossover, probably in Season 1, big zzz, where there will be some different Boys operators, I guess. There we go. And then this is an interesting one I did not expect. There's a Walking Dead crossover coming. Found in the game strings, Rick, Grimes, and Michonne could release as operators. Well, there's no confirmation. Is likely tied to The Ones Who Live, which is another Walking Dead spin-off show that releases in February of next year. So this could line up something in Season 2. It would be kind of cute. They're about 10 years late on the Walking Dead train, but yeah, this new show is it's another spin-off. So
unlike many franchises that Call of Duty has licensed for operators for their game, this would actually thematically make sense.
True.
Since The Walking Dead is about fighting zombies and there are zombies in Call of Duty. So this would actually like make sense. I'm not a Walking Dead fan. I've never been able to finish the first season, so I don't know what the story is or anything, but this would actually fit. So that'd be cool. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. It makes sense too, because he uses a revolver. So they would do a bundle with a skin for his revolver, of course. And then she uses a sword. So boom, we'd get another melee weapon in season 2, and it would be hers.
Yeah.
So it lines up. I mean, they'd be pretty cool operators. She's really dope. She's like one of the best characters in The Walking Dead. Uses that sword.
It's going to be a tier blueprint that comes with the revolver guy's operator bundle.
Slick Rick.
And they're also going to, totally coincidentally, by the way, add akimbo and snake shot attachments to the tier, and they will be on this bundle.
Yeah, that's true.
Right when it goes live, just like the Doom bundle. So that'll happen again. So make sure you level the tier, which is the revolver in MW3. And it would sell. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It would sell. So anyway, boys and girls, that is it. Hope you enjoyed. Have a happy Thanksgiving. We will be back on Saturday with a preliminary camo grind episode. We have a ton of tips and also tricks to share. If you are doing the multiplayer camo grind, tune in. And if you're not doing the multiplayer camo grind, some of these things are still going to be relevant for you. A lot of them, actually. For example, I have a secret strat on how to get headshots easily. That will be relevant even if you're not going for camos and you don't need headshots for camos. You still want headshots, and easy ones especially, just for playing the game. So it'll be useful to all of you, but especially to those of you doing the camo grind. We'll be doing that on Saturday at our normal time. And then next week, we will probably be on our normal schedule again. Reminder, Damascus patrons, hang out Friday night. And then for you patrons, expect another bonus episode to go live Friday morning, which you can listen to with your ears. And if you are not a patron and you want to have access to that and every bonus episode we've ever done, by the way, patreon.com/thedropshot, best way to support the show. Thanks for watching and listening. Remain humble.
Stay humble.